Welcome to Design Diary, the podcast where you get to look inside my board game design notebook as well as what's going on inside my head. We look at a new word each day from the sense of mechanics, tone, theme, or inspiration for a full game. Today's word is
Decimate. To select by lot and kill every 10th man. I just said that like it was nothing. That's a big deal. To exact a tax of 10% from. To reduce drastically, especially in number. To cause great destruction or harm to. Now, that first definition is a doozy. To select by lot and kill every 10th man. Which means we're going to randomly remove 10% of the population. Now, it's super topical if you've seen Avengers Infinity War, and I won't spoil anything, even though it's been out for like almost 2.5 weeks now. But what I will say is a plot point, just a generic plot point, is that Thanos is trying to get this Infinity Gauntlet, and if he gets it and he can snap his fingers, he can remove half of the population. Which this is like a weaker version of that. To randomly remove every 10th man. So that's 10%. The thing about it is I wanted to approach it in a way that I couldn't. And it's a really tough... Today was a tough day for me because I'm launching a Kickstarter tomorrow. So my jotting down in my notebook time was severely limited. But what I wrote was that this is coming. You know that this decimation is coming. It's a random elimination of 10% of us. I mean, the odds are for you. It's, 9 out of 10 chance you're going to make it, but 10% is a scary number. Now, it's entirely random, and what I wanted to figure out from a gaming perspective was, how do you beat the odds? So, that it's 10% and it's just completely random and there's nothing you can do to change the magical mind that's going to pick 10% of these people. But if it wasn't a magical mind, let's say it was, in a really morbid sense, somebody comes to your house to decimate you. You've been chosen and you're one of the 10. How can I beat the odds there? Well, I was chosen, but I can hide. I can convince the guard otherwise. I'm assuming it's a guard that's coming to get me. Thinking very sci-fi. I can pretend to be somebody else. I can, as long as it's not this magic, just mystical, 10 people are gone. Your control is in how you can manipulate. I can pretend to be someone else, or I can pretend I'm the guard. I can tell the guard that I'm here to get them. So it's all kind of messing with people's heads and things like that. You can just fool them into believing that you don't exist. So I thought of it, if it was not a guard, let's just say it's a thing. It's just 10%, it just disappears. How can I beat that randomness? And I started to think about like introducing more people into the system. All that does is, your odds are the same. It's just that there's more people in between you and that goal. I don't know. It's just like it stuck with me, and how do you beat the randomness? You affect it, you impact it, or you deny it. All those things made me start thinking about from a gaming sense. We're going to roll a die and whatever happens, happens. Well, I'm going to ignore that die. I'm going to refuse that die. I'm going to manipulate and change that die. I'm going to change the person who gets to roll the die. All those, it's all kind of basic, gaming sense and manipulation of every aspect that's, every component and everything else. But thinking about controlling the randomness is really what brought me to this point. So the decimation is coming. What can I do? I can hide, How do you hide from randomness? You're sort of just denying it. It is a big flat denial. Otherwise, I thought about some of the other definitions, and I think the to cause great destruction or harm to is the decimate that I think of. We're going to decimate the land. We're going to just straight out destroy it. But to exact a tax of 10% from, it made me think of agents, like or just sharing of ideas, and someone saying, you owe me 10%. So it's somebody's turn, and they're not sure what to do, and I'm going to suggest something, and I'm going to request 10% of what they get out of it. And they can ask for suggestions, and whichever road they take, they're gonna have to give up 10%. And I thought of it as required, not even something optional. Let's say it's your turn, and you go around to every other player and ask them what they think you should do. Each player has to say something different than the last, and the player that you go with gets a percentage of what you get. I think that sounds neat, just going around the table and saying, what do you think I should do? What do you think I should do? And eventually you're going to settle on one. They get a little bit of something. So your choice is, do I settle on one that I don't want, that I don't mind if that person gets something out of it? Or do I settle on one where I really want the action, and I want whatever the results of that are? So it was a really interesting thought of just, the balance between, me versus you and things like that. So that's about all I have for Decimate. I have so much work to do for this Kickstarter tomorrow. This was a tough word because I got hooked on trying to prevent randomness in a way that is impossible. But I'd like to hear what you have. I got to get this Kickstarter going. Thanks for joining me. Sorry so late. I'll catch you tomorrow.